Hopefully we don't have Juicy Smouye 18.0 on our hands. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a black man in California who says someone spray painted some racial slurs on his red and white Mustang with black spray paint. Now, this story, right away, when I hear about racial slurs and hate crimes and things of this nature, I automatically think hoax right away. As I said from the beginning, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope we don't have yet another Juicy Smouye copycat. We've seen them time and time again. I don't know why we see so many of them. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to raise money. There is a GoFundMe here. I'll get to that in a moment. But I don't understand the purpose when there's such a heightened level of scrutiny on these kind of allegations. I don't really get it. But before I get into the video and an interview with the man, let's get into the actual vehicle. You see, one of the obvious signs, one of the telltale signs of a hoax, that is supposed to be a swastika on the passenger side bumper. This right here, right next to me, that is supposed to be a swastika. Now, I am not an expert swastika drawer. I'm not a white supremacist or anything like that. I'm not one of these Indian cultures that still use this actual symbol in the non-racist way. I don't know anything about how to draw that correctly, but I do know a proper swastika from an improper and or incorrect swastika when I see it. That right there is all the way wrong. Okay, and we're going to see a lot more. And shout out to the Mustang. I love Mustangs. I have a Mustang myself. I have a 2020 Mustang GT, all black with the drop top. So I'm a Mustang guy. Shout out to Ford. First on race day. You already know what it is. Hopefully this guy did not do this to his Mustang. But whoever did it, I doubt that they are an avowed white supremacist who cannot even draw a correct swastika. Now, before we go any further into it, let's get into the actual news clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
In other news at 10, disturbing video from San Pedro where a man wakes up to find his newly painted sports car vandalized with racist slurs and a swastika. And the victim says it is not the first time people of color have been targeted in his neighborhood.
KTLA's Rick Chambers live in San Pedro with a story you'll see only on 5. Rick.
Yeah, Micah, while other vehicles in this man's neighborhood have also been vandalized in recent months, this one seemed more race-based and personal. And as you mentioned, it apparently has happened before.
I couldn't believe that this happened to me in San Pedro.
Reginald Scott is referring to the vandalism on his car. Sometime between Christmas and New Year's, somebody spray painted his Mustang using swastikas and the N-word. They also slashed his tires. He says it might be a racial threat for parking in front of someone else's home.
Let's pause right here. Now, your vehicle, you just painted your vehicle. It's freshly painted, and then someone spray paints it with Merry Christmas spelled incorrectly, an incorrectly drawn swastika, the N-word, and then you're parking in front of somebody else's house. Why? Like, what's the reason? Like, the whole story, to me, just seems fishy from the jump.
Even if you're parked where you're not supposed to be, I don't think that gives you the right to spray paint on somebody's car and call them a racial slur. That's hurtful.
It's just wrong because they flatten his tires, they damage it, and it's just something that you don't want to see every day because, you know, what if that could have been my vehicle?
And Reginald Scott claims that this has happened twice before. Somebody set his truck on fire 2 years ago. And then
during Halloween, they kept my truck tires and sprayed some stuff all over it to where this is starting to up it and we starting to get scared being around here.
So much.
So they're saying that other vehicles in the area have been vandalized, but nothing like this with the N-word, all that kind of stuff. Okay, but you had another car set on fire. Another vehicle you had the tire slashed. These tires get slashed. and you have some racial slurs put on it. So there's like an escalation. My question is, why is it happening? And if you had so many other vehicles damaged this way, you can't invest into a Ring camera. You can't invest into something, some kind of device that will be able to see what happens right there on the street. I mean, again, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this is not some kind of hoax in an attempt to get money, because there is a GoFundMe and the pictures of the vehicle are on the GoFundMe. I'm not going to post that because I don't know what's really going on. But if you want to contribute, there's an article about this story from the actual news station. It'll probably be there. My point is this: there is a GoFundMe with the pictures on it. So my question is this an attempt to raise some cash? We've had other incidents, but there's no effort to try and set up a system to see who's out in front of your house. And if there is a camera in front of your house, why were you not parked right there? And why were you parked in front of somebody else's house? You see, is it because you wanted to get away from the camera? Now, the cameras don't cost a lot of money. These little Ring cameras and light cameras, $100, $200 max. You could put it on Wi-Fi, solar power. It doesn't cost a lot. You could just get you a drill and a ladder, go up there, $150. You got you a nice camera that will detect what happens right in front of your residence. If you're worried about security, which you should be if you've had repeated incidents with your vehicles. And why just the vehicles and not actually property damage beyond your vehicle?
So that he keeps his son close by and says that his wife now is scared.
She don't want the doors to be unlocked. She don't want she pretty much is on high alert.
The Scotts say that they filed a police report, but now after 20 plus years in San Pedro, it might be time to relocate. If you think you'd like to help the Scott family, you can go to our website at ktla.com. We will have a link to their GoFundMe page there.
So there we have it. Now, I mean, these cases, look, and you know what? The thing about it is this could be a legitimate case. They could really be targeted. But I have so many questions. First of all, again, you have multiple incidents of the same kind of thing happening with your vehicles being targeted. You had one vehicle set on fire. The other vehicle got the tire slashed. This car got the tire slashed. And you get racial graffiti sprayed on it. Why has there been no effort to at least set up some kind of security device to watch what's happening right in front of your house? And if you do have one, why were you not parked right there and you parked somewhere else, knowing that these kind of things have happened to you before? And if they are being targeted, who's targeting them? Is it white supremacists in San Pedro, Los Angeles, California? Is that what's happening? Is that MAGA country? Is that some kind of place where these things happen? I'm not saying you would get attacked in so-called MAGA country, but you understand what I'm saying. LA, this kind of thing happens. I think you'd be more victim of a vehicle theft or a break-in rather than just outright vandalism. And again, if they are being targeted, is it some kind of domestic thing? A jilted former lover, somebody has mental problems. And maybe that could be going on. But as far as the white supremacist part of it, I've never heard about a thing like that happening in LA, not anytime recently. But I could be wrong. But I got so many questions, and since there are so many incidents just like this that always wound up being fake, pardon me for being a tad bit skeptical. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that there is a white supremacist out there in San Pedro, Los Angeles, California that tagged this man's vehicle up with the N-word and incorrectly drawn swastika and Merry Christmas with a U at the end rather than the A? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I'm just not really buying it. At this point, whenever I see anything like this, I'm automatically going to think fake. And I could be wrong. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that, well, I don't hope that there actually is a crime that happened. I don't wish any crime to happen. But I hope that I'm wrong for incorrectly labeling this. But I don't think that I am. The story doesn't make any sense. And if, again, it was a targeted thing, I don't think it'd be who the general public who believes this story thinks that it is. I don't think it's a bunch of white supremacists roaming around San Pedro, Los Angeles, California, doing a thing like that. And in every instance, LA is a pretty tightly populated area. We ain't talking about you got a mile between you and your neighbor, like way out somewhere in West Texas. It's not quite that way. Your neighbors are like right next to you. You're like living in New York City. It's LA. It's tightly compacted. Nobody saw any of the incidents. Your vehicle being set on fire, the tires being slashed in your truck, the tires being slashed in the Mustang, and then spray painted all over one whole side of it. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.